In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Google Ads campaign the right way, especially if you're a beginner or this is your first time setting up a Google Ads campaign. Google has made it overly complicated. There's lots of new settings now in a campaign build that if you set up incorrectly will waste you a lot of money. So my goal is to show you step by step how to correctly set a campaign up so you have success as soon as you launch your ads and not a bunch of wasted ad spend, which a lot of new Google Ads users or beginners have because they just set things up incorrectly. So follow along step by step and you will have a perfect setup to get your ads firing and have tremendous success out of the gate. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Austin LeClaire. I'm co-founder of Grow My Ads. We are a Google Ads agency that manages millions of dollars per month in ad spend for over 100 plus clients in our portfolio. Let's dive in. Okay, I am in an account. Now, if you haven't created an account yet, simply go search on Google Ads. It will take you to Google Ads website where you can hit start now and actually go sign up. It takes like a few minutes to go do. Very simple process. Once you have an account though built, you now will need to create a campaign in order for ads to even fire. So when you're looking at your account, like I have on my screen right now, you're gonna wanna go to the campaign section here. So you'll be at campaigns, and then you're gonna wanna hit this blue plus sign. So this is create a campaign. So we're gonna go in here and we're going to hit new campaign. Now, this is going to take us to the setup phase of a new campaign, and you have to choose a campaign objective. Here's the thing. These objectives usually just remove certain settings or include certain settings versus others. So if you choose sales versus website traffic, you might see different settings during this campaign build process. The reality is none of these objectives actually mess with or control the performance of the campaigns. A lot of times I recommend going create a campaign without guidance because you've got me to guide you. But if you want to play it safe and be simple, if you're trying to generate sales, actual purchases on your website, click sales. If you're trying to go after leads, so you're a local service-based business or a lead generation business of some sort where you actually handle leads and sell customers services, then go click leads. A lot of people want to go website traffic. Do not do that. That's not what we're here for. And we don't want awareness and consideration. So if you want to play it safe, go sales or leads, or you can do what I'm about to do and just hit create a campaign without guidance because you're going to follow me. Now, you have these campaign types, right? So we have search, which is what I'm going to show you how to build today, which is what most people are going to start with on Google Ads. You've got performance max, which is like everything wrapped up all in one. So it's going to contain every advertisement placement you can get within Google Ads all in one campaign. I do not recommend starting there. So we're not going to go into performance max. You have demand gen, which is going to be very specific mainly to YouTube and Google Display. You've got display specific, so it's just going to be the display network here. And then you have shopping. Those would be the ads. So if you typed in Nike running shoes, you're going to see pictures of actual products of Nike running shoes on the search page. Those would be ran through a shopping campaign with a product feed. And then you have video, which again is going to be more YouTube driven. And then if you have an app, so if you're actually advertising an app, you can choose app. Now, again, most people are going to start with search. This is what we're going to do within this video. So I'm going to click search. Then it's going to say use these conversion goals for campaign performance optimization. So you want to have conversion tracking set up for what you're trying to go after. So if you're trying to get a sale on your website, you're going to want to have a conversion set up when someone makes a purchase. That way it fires back to your Google Ads account that you made a sale from your ad. And if it's a lead, usually it's going to be like a thank you page that you have fire a conversion in order to send back to Google that, hey, we generated a lead from our ads. That way you know how well your ads are performing. Now, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of conversion tracking set up. I actually have videos on that. So those other videos on conversion tracking will be in the description below of this video if you want to go see how to go set up either Shopify e-commerce purchase tracking or set up lead form tracking to track how many leads you generated from your ads. So in this case, I am actually going to go and remove most of these. These are old conversions from an old account here. But what we do want is to go after submit lead forms. So I'm going to hit remove all of these, remove all of these, and we're going to have our submit lead form here. Now it has this little thing, one inactive. It's just because this is a dummy account that I'm using to build in. And so don't worry about that. So we're going to hit continue. Okay, so I hit continue, but Google then does this weird little thing where it's like, select the results you want to get from this campaign: website visits, phone calls. Just ignore these. These won't do anything. It just adds an extra layer of complexity. I don't know why Google just does that when I'm literally saying I'm trying to get leads here. So we're going to hit continue. Then another box comes up, search campaign name. Now, I recommend having a clean naming convention for your campaigns so it doesn't get too disorganized. Today, we're going to be doing a carpet cleaning campaign for a local carpet cleaning business. So you don't need to do this, but I like to use abbreviations. So I have S for search, and then I'm just going to do carpet cleaning, and then I'm actually going to do Fort Wayne. So this is the service that I'm going to be running a campaign for, and this is the city that I'm going to be targeting. Again, you can name this whatever. It has nothing to do with the performance of the campaign, but a clean naming convention, especially if you have multiple campaigns, will help with the organization and management of the account. So try not to, make your names too confusing, because I've seen a lot of messy accounts in my time. And usually if there's messy campaign names, the whole account's pretty messy overall. So just starting with nice naming conventions, organized campaign names can really help with the management of the account in the future as you grow. Okay, now we get into bidding, all right? So you've got a bunch of different bidding options here. So what do you want to focus on? And they're going to give you the recommended bidding options here, which is conversions, conversion value, clicks, or impression share. So we've got conversions, right? This would be if you're trying to generate leads. Remember, this is what we're doing for this campaign. We're telling Google we want leads, right? And that's the conversion action that we have set up. Again, this is a carpet cleaning business. So Google's going to yield to try and get as many conversions as they can then for the campaign. Then you have conversion value. This is going to be, especially if you're like e-commerce, you're selling different products with different pricing. Google's going to yield to how do we generate the most amount of conversion value for each conversion that they're able to generate from that campaign. So conversion value is going to be used a lot of times when you have different values for different conversions. Think of e-commerce purchases. Then we have clicks, and then we have impression share. So these are going to be more click-based. Now, I am going to recommend in this guide to start with just conversions, okay? Now, here's the thing. I have an entire bidding masterclass, and in that, you'll actually hear me say the opposite. You'll hear me say, don't start with conversions, start with manual CPC or max clicks. In this video, because you're a beginner and you're just starting out, it makes sense, just start with conversions, maximize conversions is what this technically would be, and let it go. If it doesn't start generating you impressions and clicks though, then you're going to want to revisit your bidding options. In that case, I recommend going back to max clicks or manual CPC. If you want the full breakdown on why, then go watch my bidding masterclass. That video will be in the description below. It's very long and detailed, but I'll give you all of the reasons why I kind of recommend some of those different bidding strategies. But for now, for most of you, again, you're just starting out, brand new campaign, you're a beginner to Google Ads, keep it simple. And let's just start with max conversions. You see the set a target cost per acquisition. We don't even want that yet. All we want to do is just get some conversion data rolling in. So we're going to leave this turned off. Then Google has this setting called customer acquisition. This would adjust your bidding to help you acquire new customers. You don't need to worry about that right now. We just need to get some customers rolling in. So don't even worry about this setting either. Leave it blank, then hit next. Okay, now we get into campaign settings that actually can trip people up. So you see how Google auto selected these networks, Google Search Partners and Google Display Network? You don't want either of those, right? Search partners, for the most part, is going to have a lot of junk traffic, and the display network, you never want to mix in Google Display and Google Search. It makes absolutely no sense. It was a money grab by Google, in my opinion, for them to try to mix it in there to get more money and more advertising dollars on the display network. Now, Google Search partners can work. What I recommend is get a campaign built and set up without it first. Start getting good conversions from it. Get your campaign to work where you're confident in. Then you can test Search Partner Network later. But for now, I never recommend setting search partners up from the beginning. Okay, then we're going to go to locations. In this case, I'm going to be going after Allen County. That's in Indiana. It's just a county here. So I'm going to hit include, right? And this will actually even show up on the map. So I'm targeting the Fort Wayne area, which is where I happen to be. Our office here for Grow My Ads. Most of our employees are remote, but we do have a physical office here, which is where I'm at. Now, I've set my targeting to Allen County. Now we have this include, all right, location options. So this you're gonna wanna click. You've got these two options here. One is presence or interest. So this is people in, regularly in, or who've shown interest in your location. We do not want this. We want to put presence, and this is people in or regularly in your included location. This setting, which is auto-selected, gets a little too broad. And we want to force Google to try to show our ads to people who are only in Allen County. That's what makes the most sense to us. So we're gonna have presence set up, not presence or interest. And I recommend you do the same. Okay, languages. I don't know why it even says item not found. That's weird, but this will be in English. So I'm just having to auto-select to English. Then there's this EU political ads. Obviously, I'm running carpet cleaning ads in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So no, this campaign doesn't have EU political ads, so I don't need to worry about that. Now, we've got audience segments, okay? This is something you can just kind of layer onto the campaigns. You don't need to do anything beyond that. And you'll get some additional data on how some of these audience segments perform, but you don't really need to go beyond that. So I'm just gonna put like home cleaning services. So this is like a good one. This is home and garden, home cleaning. You know, like if I type in carpet cleaning, sometimes you can do searches. So this is in market for cleaning supplies, probably not. In market for carpet installation, probably not. Flooring services, you know, we potentially can do that. Renters, homeowners. So we could add some of these in here. And yeah, that's probably good. Now, there's this targeting setting for this campaign. So you have targeting or observation. Targeting saying, I only want to show my ads to people who are in these audience pools. Observation is, don't narrow the reach of the campaign. Show my ad to everyone who is searching for the keywords that I'm bidding on, which we'll get to, and then with the option to adjust the bids on these selected segments. So to explain that, if you were manually bidding, you could actually go like bid adjust some of these. So you could pay more for homeowners versus renters, etc., by adjusting the bid. It's an advanced thing. You don't even need to worry about it, especially because we're on a max conversion based bid strategy that we set up earlier. So don't even read deeply into that. Just put in some audience segments that make sense for your industry or business, and then have it set to observation. That's all you need to think about. It's all you need to worry about. Doesn't matter after that. All right, now we're gonna click more settings. Ad rotation. You wanna keep this to optimize, prefer best performing ads. You don't need to worry about this other setting of do not optimize. So keep optimize on. Then we have start date, end date. I never usually have an end date. It doesn't make sense to me. You can manually control pausing or re-enabling a campaign. So start date I have on, end date here. We have set to none. That way the campaign doesn't just shut off. Now, click more settings. I've got an ad schedule. So here I can tell Google when I want my ads to show. This, by the way, would be based on your account time zone when you set the account up. So this account is on Eastern time zone. So for this account, we're going to go Monday through Friday, and we are just going to go from 7 a.m. Then we're going to go down here to the 16 there. So there we go. This is it. We're going to just run Monday through Friday. And then the campaign URL options. This is if you're using any sort of third-party UTM tracking templates. You don't really need to worry about this right now unless you already know about this and need to set that up. This is where you can set it up at the campaign level. Otherwise, most of you can just ignore this for now. Then there's also this page feed thing. You can ignore this as well. We don't need to even think about page feeds at this time. All right, we're gonna hit next. Now, this feeds us into another setting called AI Max. I have some videos on AI Max. I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of those, but this is sort of allowing Google to take over in regards to search terms that you start showing for, not necessarily based off the keywords you have added, asset creation and optimization, and the final URL that you actually will land a clicker or someone who searches and clicks your ad, or they'll land on your website. We do not want AI Max on right now. This is something for a later time on a campaign that might be performing well to test, but you just starting out, you do not want to consider AI Max at all. It sounds cool and powerful, and Google does a really good job of advertising in the campaign creation process. It will burn your credit card up and not result in any good conversions in the beginning. So save this as a test for later on when you're actually making money from your ad account. Right now, we want to ignore it. So do not turn it on. So this toggle here, keep it off, and then just hit next. All right, now we've got keyword and asset generation. So they do have this like asset generation helper. So if you were to type in your website, Google's actually going to tap into, like some of their like AI capabilities. And they're able to, so what makes your product or service unique? So this is kind of like tapping into like the copy that's on our website. And then it's going to review ad groups and suggestions. None of these really are great right now from what I'm seeing. So it kind of wants to do a brand ad group, carpet cleaning, commercial. So these are actually okay. But I'm going to show you how to set up this manually so you have more control over it. You normally don't want to use this process. So we're going to just hit this skip. I just kind of wanted to show you what it would look like though. So hit skip. All right. Now we are in the ad group process here, right? So ad group number one is what we're going to be building. Now, again, I'm going to be going after carpet cleaning. So I'm going to name it carpet cleaning up here at the top. Then if you want, you can add your website to get some ideas. And here, this will actually populate some keyword suggestions that you can use. Now, what I recommend is actually going and doing some keyword research. I have videos on keyword research if you want to like do a full breakdown, but you want to target in the beginning, usually transactional keywords. It doesn't have to be rocket science. This is a carpet cleaning business in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We want to target people who are searching for carpet cleaning in Fort Wayne, Indiana, right? Now, I'm going to hop in real quick and show you how to use the keyword planner tool real quick just to generate some ideas, and then also utilizing ChatGPT as well if you need some help there. So let's go do that real quick. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to this tools setting here, right? Then we're going to go to planning. And then here there's this keyword planner. So this is Google's own sort of keyword research planner tool. Now, what we're going to do is hit this discover new keywords. And here, I'm just going to type in carpet cleaning. You can even start with your website if you want, but this is very easy because it's carpet cleaning. Now, it's set to United States. I'm going to change this. Remember, we're actually focusing on Allen County. So I'm going to hit Allen County, and then I'm going to hit save. This now will give us keywords. So we see carpet cleaning near me. Bissell carpet cleaner, that would not be what we would want. That's like an actual carpet cleaner product that you would buy. A rug cleaning near me, Stanley steamer near me, etc. So you can go through here and you can actually see what searches or keywords Google has recommendations for. You want to be very careful though. Some of these are irrelevant and you wouldn't want to show. But what I recommend is you take a theme of keywords that you're targeting that are high intent transactional keywords, okay? And one of the best places to help focus you there is to actually use ChatGPT. So a quick prompt is, I just said, I am a carpet cleaner in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I want to advertise for people looking for carpet cleaning services in Fort Wayne. These would be residential houses or residential homes. Please focus on high intent transactional keywords only that give me the highest conversions. And here we go. So ChatGPT does a really good job of breaking this out into buy now basically queries. So here we have our primary transactional keywords. This is going to be carpet cleaning Fort Wayne, professional carpet cleaning Fort Wayne, residential, etc. Then you've got pricing and quote, and then you've got booking service specific, and then you also have urgency based. They gave us like 24/7 carpet cleaning, which we don't do, and then emergency carpet cleaning. Now, what I recommend is focusing usually on the primary transactional keywords at first for your business. So if you are a landscaper, ChatGPT is going to give you very good transactional, high intent primary keywords for your landscaping business. If you are a carpet cleaning business, we're going to start here. Now, this business does commercial carpet cleaning as well, but 80% of their sales right now come from residential. So it makes sense to focus our starting budget on our top performing service currently, and that's carpet cleaning. So if you're, for example, a landscaping company and 90% of your business is just mowing residential houses, focus then and tell ChatGPT that, and you want to focus your keyword selection then on high intent transactional keywords for people searching for landscaping companies to come mow their home, not necessarily their business. If you wanted to expand later into the commercial side, you can do that through a new ad group or campaign. But for now, when you're just starting, try to really laser in on what is your core service offering or product and focus your efforts there. You don't need 500 keywords. We just need a group of keywords. So these keywords here are pretty good. Now, the only thing that I'm going to adjust, so I'm actually going to copy these and I'll show you how to set this up here in a second. And then the only thing I also know is near me terms do really, really well. So I'm also going to include the near me as well. And so I'm going to go back in to my search campaign here, and I'm actually going to I'm going to paste these terms in essentially, okay? And Google somehow spaced a bunch of these. Now, you do not want to just do what I did and hit apply, right? This is set up in what is called broad match type. Broad match type is too broad. You do not want to run broad match keywords in the beginning. There's a few other match type options. So let me show you what that looks like real quick. Okay, so this is on Google's ads support page here about keyword matching options. Here you can actually see the match type. So you have broad match, you have phrase match, and exact match. Broad, they call comprehensive matching. It's not. It's just like, it's way too broad. Phrase is going to be moderate. Okay. So ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. So it's kind of an intent-based term. And then you have exact. So if someone's exactly searching for furniture stores, it's the tightest matching option you have. When it comes to match types, especially when you're first starting out, you only want to focus on exact match and phrase match. Now, with phrase match and exact match, you actually need to signal to Google you want to target them in those match types. So with phrase match, like in this example, tennis shoes, it has these double quotation marks on them. That's how you need to set your keywords up with that. And with exact match, it's these brackets, right? So these square brackets for shoes for men indicate you want this to be an exact match keyword. Now, going back into our keywords, remember I pasted these in. So what I'm going to do is add carpet cleaning Fort Wayne with the brackets. And then I'm also going to do carpet cleaning Fort Wayne with no brackets. And I'm going to go the quotation marks, double quotation marks for phrase match. Now I've got carpet cleaning Fort Wayne in exact and phrase. Then I can kind of go through and do that for my other keywords. So we're just going to go one by one here. Professional carpet cleaning Fort Wayne. Remember, I'm sticking these are like pretty tightly themed. I've got my residential, and we're going to add this in. And there we go. And then we've got, so carpet cleaners near me is really what I want here. I don't need, it had Fort Wayne added to it. We're already targeting that with carpet cleaning Fort Wayne. So I'm good there. And there we go. And then, we've got these other ones as well. I don't really need this group that I've got here is pretty good. Phrase match, by the way, will pick up some of those long tails. And if they'll start performing well, I'll add them. But to get this going for carpet cleaning service in Fort Wayne, Indiana, again, I don't need 100 keywords. Less is more when it comes to keywords, especially when you're starting out. This is a very good core group of high intent transactional terms in phrase and exact match. This is a good place to start. Then if I don't get enough clicks per day, I'll start adding some more keywords in. But if I could spend my full budget on some of these high intent terms right here, then I'm off to a really, really good start. Okay, now look at here, ad group settings for AI Max. This wants, if you were to run AI Max, and this kind of wants you to go back and turn it on. Again, this is not something you want set up right now. Ignore all of this. We do not want any ad group settings for AI Max because we don't want AI Max turned on at the campaign level. All right, now we are at the create your ad section. So this is where you're actually going to create an ad, and this is the ad people would see when they're searching for the keywords that you're bidding on. So let's go ahead and start building this ad out. Okay, so in the ad creation process, I actually already have an ad written inside of my ad copy framework. Now, if you want a copy of this, this is in our group called PPC Copilot. It is our ongoing training. It has our courses in there, Q&As. I have some of my staff in there. I'm involved in that group answering questions. So if you want to learn more about that, especially if you're new to Google Ads and you want to upskill and take my courses and trainings, go check that group out. Link to that group will be in the description below. And again, you'll actually be able to get access to this sheet. If not, you can kind of just look at the sheet and build it yourself by taking a screenshot of it or something. So I already have ad copy ready. Now, I'm going to give you some of our best practices though when it comes to ad copy. You want to look at different angles when you have the opportunity to write 15 different headlines. So in what is called a responsive search ad, you can add the final URL. This is where you're going to be sending your traffic. So someone who clicks the ad, this is where we want to send them. So in this case, it's steamworksfw.com. This is where we'll actually be sending people who click. You have a display path. So here we've got, and this is nothing more than, it doesn't function as anything. It just shows up. So here we're going to do this and then Fort Wayne, and that's where the display path will show. It's a good place to sneak in some search intent or keywords. You can kind of see a quick example here of how it might look in an ad right there. Then we have headlines. You can add up to 15 headlines. Now here's the thing. Most people add a bunch of fluffy headlines that all look the same or sound the same. Less is actually more in my opinion. Now it won't be to this ad strength metric up here. You can ignore that though. It doesn't actually impact the performance of your ad or campaign. It's a Google made up metric that is shown inside of the interface. Now, if you can create 15 headlines that are unique and follow our best practices and guidelines, awesome. Please go do it. But don't believe you have to start with 15 headlines, especially if you're adding a bunch of very similar headlines and that are fluffy. Like you're saying the same thing over and over again. So it's like, get a free online quote today. And you also are like, oh, let's just get a free quote. Like that's the same freaking thing. So you don't need to just rewrite the same call to action a bunch of times. Look at it from an angle standpoint. So for our angles, we like to go after intent match, matching the search query to your headline, including the keywords that you're targeting. So we want to include like carpet cleaning Fort Wayne in there. USP, so compelling, unique selling propositions. What makes you stand out versus competition? What differentiates you, right? So articulate why you're the best option compared to the competitors. Is there any specific language that elevates your brand or your offering? And then your actual offer, so like specific first steps they can take. Commitment entry points like free consultations or quotes. Trust, right? So remove risk and fear from taking action. So if you have like 100% money back guarantee, credibility or signal of proof, and then clear call to actions. So that's going to be like get a free online quote today or a specific offer like free 15-minute evaluation, et cetera, depending on what you offer. And then theme tests. These are just like testing different actual themes. So maybe you have a theme for an ad that's based off of affordability, and maybe you run an ad that's based off of speed. Those would be theme tests. Now, again, I'm only going with 5 headlines. That is absolutely fine for this ad targeting carpet cleaning keywords for Fort Wayne. I've got my brand term in here. I've got my intent match, #1 carpet cleaning in Fort Wayne. I have our special offer right now, right? We have same day service availability. That's a unique selling prop for us. And we also have a call to action. So this is good enough to get started. So I'm going to go ahead, copy and paste these over to my ad. And then our descriptions. Okay, so I've got my ad copy copied and pasted over. Now you can add different assets to your ad. So there's an image that we can add here. So I'm actually gonna go click add image. They can generate images for you if you don't have any. It can crawl your website. So here, like I've got steamworksfw.com in there. And so here it's crawling some of the images that would be on our website. You don't have to go too crazy with this. I'm actually going to utilize even this ad advisor tool over here. I'm going to utilize some of what it's already found. I think this is fine. So we're going to hit select and we're going to hit save. Then business name, we already have this logged in here, so I don't need to worry about this. But if you don't, you can. So if you don't add a name or logo, Google will use your URL to add them. And so there's this get access thing. So this is requesting our advertiser verification. I'm gonna have a lot of this blurred out. But here, just add your business name and you should have your advertiser profile verified because you're running a real account. So here, just add your logo, add your business name. In this case, I can't because again, this is kind of like a dummy account. Now we have site links and then we've got different asset types we could add. So site links are going to be what you see down here. This is showing the Ultimate Google Ads Guide right now because this is, again, an account we do different campaign trainings in. So we've done a lot of different campaigns in here. So that wouldn't make sense for a carpet cleaning company, but that's what it's showing there. So my site links, which would, if you type in like Pizza Hut or something, you're going to see in several ads, different site links that would take you to different pages, not just the main headline of the ad. And you want to add relevant site links here. So Google's already sort of created some for me, but not all of these make sense. And so I'm going to go here and remove photo gallery, remove service offerings. The rest of these are okay. I don't know why they made like duplicates here. We've got carpet cleaning, duct cleaning, upholstery. So let me hit save. And there we go. So we've got like 3. I actually recommend having at least 4. You can also create site links yourself. So here, if we go to this like site link, you just hit create a new one. So here we could go like about us, and then you could write, find out more about why we are the, and then you usually want to use the description line too, #1 carpet cleaning company in town. So I wouldn't recommend this copy, but there you go. And then here I would just paste the URL to our About Us page right there. And that would create, see that About Us right here in this preview section. It would create that. And you can kind of look with this preview. Here's About Us again. Google will, here's how site links work. Google will show them when they want to. You have no control of that. And they might show only 2, they might show 4, they might show 1. 4 would be the max. 1 would be the least or the minimum they would show, right? Sometimes they'll show them with just the text. Sometimes they'll show it with the extended descriptions as well. Again, you have no control of that. Just go add at least 4 site links and then add all of the descriptions to them as well to benefit from the fact if they do show all of your site links with the descriptions, you do want that. It takes up a lot of ad space. Okay, we've got that. There's these different asset types. You can go in, you can add pricing, you can add promotions if you're running promotions, you could add calls if you want to get calls, call outs, which will be a little snippets of call actions here that you can go add. So if you wanted to add like, free quote, same day service, you can go add call outs here. I recommend 4 on call outs within your campaign. Structured snippets, a bit different. Here you can add the services that you offer. You can add neighborhoods that you go after. They give you a list here. So service catalog, neighborhoods would make sense for this carpet cleaning business. Here you want to add at least 3 to 4 as well in the structure snippets, depending on which type of structure snippet you set up. Lead forms, I do not recommend right now. They sound great, but they do generate a lot of spam at the moment. So I do not recommend lead forms until later on when your campaign's working on your actual website and your form fill on your website. So ignore lead forms. And then we don't do anything with apps. This is a carpet cleaning business, so we don't care about that. Then the tracking template, add URL stuff down here. None of this means anything to us either right now. It would only make sense if we had like third-party tracking that we're like setting up. So this is ready to go. I'm gonna hit save, and then there we go. Now I've got ads ready to go. I'm gonna hit next. Now budget, okay? It's gonna ask you how much per day do you want to spend? So you can usually set this custom budget here. What I recommend is when you are doing keyword research, adding a budget that allows you to at least get 10 clicks per day. Okay, so back in the keyword planner tool, I put carpet cleaning in Allen County, right? Go find a few of the main keywords that you're targeting. So for us, we're targeting carpet cleaning near me. We're targeting also, what I'm gonna do is just do this too, carpet cleaning Fort Wayne, because it didn't populate down here. So I'm just gonna plug it in. Okay, so here, it's able to show you this top of page bid low range, top of page bid high range. That means this is what it would cost to show in the top ad spots, but you would be at the bottom. So if Google shows 4 ads, you would be probably around position 4. And this would be top of page high range. You would be in the top, 1 or 2 spots there. Now, Google doesn't always show 4 ads. And in ads, that will fluctuate and change as well. Sometimes they'll show 1, sometimes they'll show 4, usually a max of 4. But here, this gives you an idea of what it's going to cost per click to be competitive. So what I recommend is you take the average of low and high. So here we've got 64 cents for carpet cleaning, and for carpet cleaning Fort Wayne, which is going to be more high intent, it's about $2. And here it's about $6.50. For me, just quickly, not even running the math, I know based off of this that I probably should be bidding about $3 per click. Now, again, you're on a max conversion bid strategy, but you can kind of guess what your clicks are going to start costing based off of just looking at these numbers. And so for 10 clicks per day at about a 3 average that I'm sort of guessing right now with data, I want a minimum then of $30 per day budget. Now, if this were a client that I was talking to, I would say, hey, I'm going to recommend shooting this up a little higher. Let's just be a little more aggressive to get more data. So here I'd probably go to like $50 per day. But that is how we look at the budget based off of the click data, not necessarily just some made up number. So I'm gonna hit next. Okay, so this is ready to publish. There was an issue with the language. I actually had to move it to all languages. It could be, I have been told Google's moving away from allowing to specifically target a language. So if you get an error like I just did trying to publish this, it said item not found when I had it set to English, then just go back and try and go to all languages and then go flick it back to English. If you have to, just go to all languages. But in this case, I was able to go to all languages, fix that, and then move it back. So there's a bit of a glitch there, just in case you guys run into that. Now I'm gonna hit publish campaign. So this is going to now publish. Okay, so I hit publish. It does take me to this screen now, which says your ads will go live after being reviewed. And then it says improve your return on investment by measuring conversion. So if you don't have conversion tracking set up yet and wants to kind of push you into that, we already do. So I already have all of this set up, and I'm just gonna hit next. And then I'm just actually gonna back out of this. I don't know why they're forcing me in. So I'm gonna hit X because we already have this set up. All right. So now my campaign will be published. So if you get to that state and you're like, what do I do? Just go hit X, right? And it'll take you back to your main navigation here. Now I'm gonna go to the campaign that I just launched. So I'm gonna go to campaigns, and then here it is. It's enabled. This green dot shows that it is live. Now, we want to make sure we're gonna do a few other settings that we couldn't set up during the campaign process that I believe are important. So number 1, I actually do not like showing on tablets. And so what I'm gonna go do is insights and reports up here, when and where ads show. and then on this device section pops up here. You see this tablets? I'm actually gonna go to bid adjustment and I'm gonna hit decrease 100%. I'm telling Google I do not want to show my ads on tablets. I recommend when you start a brand new campaign, do not show ads on tablets. Even if tablets work, it's the least performing, even out of spenders that we have that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. It's the least volume too. But it is prone to be finicky in regards to sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I want to remove any variables like that could hinder my success in the beginning. So I just get rid of tablets in the beginning. Once I have a campaign that's running and doing well, I may re-enable. Then we added keywords, right? So this carpet cleaning ad group, we've got our keywords in here, all good. But what I also want to add is something called a negative keyword. And so if I I'm gonna go back to this campaign level, I'm gonna hit keywords, and then I'm gonna hit negative keywords. Here, and I have a whole video on negative keywords as well. You can go check that out. But here, what I really want to do is add terms that are irrelevant to me and I wouldn't want Google to fire an ad for. So remember how it showed Bissell in the search term report or in the keyword planner tool? Bissell is a product. No one's looking for a carpet cleaning company if they're looking to buy a Bissell carpet cleaner. So I want Bissell to be a negative keyword. And then probably terms like used. So this would be people looking for used carpet cleaners or rent, maybe some of my competitor names, maybe out of location areas. So like I don't service, Indianapolis, and somehow if that showed up, so I'm gonna add that. So go through and add some terms right away that you would be like, I do not want my ad to show up for. Add them as negative keywords, and then you just hit save here, and now your ad will not show for those. Again, there's a little more to negative keywords, and there's a research process there. You could also ask ChatGPT for that as well, but add some negative keywords once you get your campaign live to save yourself some money as well. Okay, there you go. If you followed this video step by step, you have gone from Google Ads beginner to already an experienced Google Ads practitioner. Hopefully you met some money with your new campaign setup because you have just now built it the right way and you're going to prevent a lot of wasted ad spend. I hope you got great value from this. If you do want to learn more about Google Ads, subscribe to this channel and also go check out PPC Copilot. That is my training group with my courses and Q&As and ongoing training. So if you want to upskill and continue to learn more, then go check that community out as well. If not, I hope to see you on the next video.